Hey, what's up, guys? How we doing? Today, I needed to answer a couple of email questions that I've gotten lately about the balance point for pitchers. I've had a lot of questions. A lot of people are saying that they have some pitching coaches that recommend the balance point and they teach the balance point and coming to a pause at the top of the delivery, and other coaches that say, no, you're not supposed to pause. And they were just asking my opinion and what I thought about the topic. So I'll give kind of what I've seen and then what I think. So I will say for the last 10 years while I've been giving lessons all over the place, I've run into a lot of different pitching instructors and I've seen them working, and I've seen dozens of them working on the balance point with young pitchers. It's something I see a lot, especially at the really, really low levels of pitching, so little league, but I also see it in high school when I'm going around giving my lessons and seeing things done. I've also had a lot of emails from people saying that their pitching coaches teach the balance point, so I know it's taught uh, not only in my neck of the woods but all over the country. And what I usually see is the coaches will have their pitchers. Usually it's during a drill or something. They'll get them to the top of their leg lift and they'll have them hold this for as long as they can, and then they'll have them slowly drop their leg and lift it up, and basically see how long they can stay in this static position or in this balanced position. And I know from being younger, I can think all the way back to when I was a pitcher way back in the day in Little League and Babe Ruth and stuff like that. And I used to go to pitching coaches, and they showed me the same thing. I can remember doing a lot of these drills when I was younger. So you've probably heard of a bunch of different things that a lot of these coaches will say: stop at the top, or balance over the rubber, or gather over the rubber. There's a bunch of different words that they use, but for sure, there's a lot of coaches out there teaching this. Now, when I look at that, I've watched. Obviously, I've played against and I've played with a ton of really, really good minor league and major league pitchers, and I've talked to them a lot about their mechanics. And the problem that I see when I'm watching, I've watched tons of video on pitchers, is that I never see 99% of major league pitchers and minor league pitchers. I don't see a stop or a pause at the top of the leg lift. And I know that there's always exceptions to the rules. I know there's a few guys in the major leagues that do somewhat pause, but I would say that that's more of the exception to the rule and not the rule. The way I look at it when I'm looking at pitching mechanics and delivery is, if we're trying to build momentum and energy and force towards our target, it's going to be a lot tougher to do so if we come to a complete stop and pause at the top of our delivery, and now we have to start all over again, trying to rebuild all that momentum and all that energy and force back towards the target. It's going to be tougher to do so. And also, when you stop, it's going to disrupt your rhythm and your timing. And those are two vitally important aspects of pitching. When I think of pitching, pitching is an explosive activity. And what I talk about, what I see is pitchers that, as they begin their delivery, they're continuing to pick up their tempo and build this momentum as they move through the delivery. You can remember back to high school. I wasn't the best student in the world, but you used to hear all the time, an object in motion stays in motion, an object at rest stays at rest. So it's going to be tough to stop and then get going again, whereas it'd be much easier if we can continue to build that tempo and continue to move throughout the leg lift, and we don't come to that pause at the top of our delivery. And one more thing, if you stop, you're stopping your body's ability to put muscles on stretch and create that separation, and that's where a lot of velocity comes from. It's a lot easier to get that stretch and that separation if we're moving and not stopping and then going again. So like I said earlier, if you watch major league pitchers on film, you got to really watch it on film. You got to slow it down because the delivery happens really, really fast. But if you watch it, they don't ever become stopped and be completely paused or still at the top of their delivery. They begin to move down the mound, leading with their hip before their leg actually begins to descend. So they're never stopped. They drive their entire body at the target, maintain a good posture as they move from their back leg to their front leg. So let's look at a couple different pitchers. First, I'll just throw up a bunch of random guys just so we can look at them. I'll start with Justin Verlander just because everyone knows who he is. He's probably the most dominant pitcher in the league, and we'll just look and watch and see what he does. So here he begins his delivery, and as his leg is lifting, you can already see that he's moving. So no pauses, no hitches. Here comes his leg lift. Just watch his head. It's already moving forward basically as his leg is just starting to pick up. He's continuing to move. Leg's still coming up. He's still moving forward. Now it's at the top. Now it's starting to go down, and he's still moving, driving his entire body, keeping his head stationary in the middle of his body as he drives down the mound into his front leg and then releases the ball. Now if we look at Nolan Ryan, we're going to see a very similar type thing. Here comes the leg lift. And you can already see that he's moving forward as the leg is lifting out. Let me go back again so you can see that. So he's building momentum. He's moving. His leg is lifting, and you can already see that movement where he's starting to lead with his hip, moving down the mound. It's a little slower motion, so it's a little tougher to see, but there's no pause at the top or a gather. Nolan Ryan had one of the most explosive deliveries. He delivers the ball to the plate. So there are two quick guys. I could continue to show pictures, and maybe I'll show more in the future, but I don't want this video to be too long. But the basic idea is, as you can see from these two guys, and you can just watch Major League Baseball, and go online. There's tons of videos and all types of things so that you can look at. You can really see that there's not a static position at the top of the delivery where we're just balancing and stopping and pausing. We're building momentum all the way through. And one quick thing, a lot of times when I talk about this to pitchers, either the player or the parent, whoever it is, will say, well, then he's going to be rushing. If he doesn't pause, he's going to be rushing, and his arm's going to be left behind, and he's going to drag his arm through, and all this stuff that they've been told by the same coaches that told them that they need to get to the top of the delivery and pause. It's not rushing. So we're not rushing to the plate. We're just building energy and momentum as we go. We're not rushing. We're gradually picking up our tempo, and we're not pausing. But there is no rush. So I just want to talk a little bit about that, try to answer those few questions. If you have any questions, let me know. I wish I could spend more time on the subject, but I only have a certain amount of time on YouTube to throw the video up there. So hope this helps out. Send me your questions if you have any, and take care.